What is going on, YouTube? We are back with another video. In this video, what I want to talk to you guys about is why that one step, that one thing, that one missing piece is holding you back from achieving your ideal life, physique, results, and really any goal in life that you set out for yourself. If you're missing that one thing, it's preventing you from getting light years ahead. So I want to start off with why this is important. Well, a lot of times we lack that one piece of knowledge, that one skill, that one, piece of information. And that holds us back from 10 times the results that we could be making if we just had that one piece. And we have these gaps that we're unaware of. And truly your brain doesn't start to fully develop into full awareness until a certain age. And when it does, these things often come to you. And I think that you can, start to do the internal work to speed that process up. That's my personal opinion. I'm not going to give you research on that, but like literally as soon as I started to do the internal work, read the books, meditate, affirm all these things, I started to just see tangible things pop up in my life that I could never even imagine, right? And that's with my fitness, with my nutrition, with my finance, with my relationships, with everything in my life. My career just started to, open up tenfold. Right now, like that one thing you're missing is probably holding you back from getting 10 times ahead. So if you just found that one piece of information, that one habit, or that one thing that really was preventing you from getting to where it is you want to be, then you would be so much further ahead in the destination you're going. So like that one thing could be, lack of information. That lack of information could be you not knowing how to lose weight or how to build muscle, or it could be like a small piece of information that leads to a bunch of other questions. I think that oftentimes in life, if not every time, when we have some sort of information present itself, right, we have all these other questions that open up. So one door of questions leads into another, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think you can kind of see where I'm going with this. And don't mind, I'm kind of riled up. I just got off a workout, and this is when my brain juices are flowing and I have these ideas come to me. And so I remember in college typing an essay that I thought was really good work. And I remember getting an A or an A- on it. It was like a 94 on the paper. And I remember looking at it like, what did I do wrong on this paper? And writing was always, it just came naturally to me. The teacher, or the professor, I should say, made all these, marks. And the only marks, there were like hundreds of them. But the only ones that were punctuational errors. And she said that, hey, like you put too many spaces between each sentence. And I thought to myself, wait, what? Like, what do you mean? So I went back and reviewed with my college roommate or one of my buddies. And he said like, oh yeah, like you have 2 spaces between each sentence. Like that's why you lost like 5 points. I remember thinking like, I remember talking to my friend and I was like, dude, what the heck's up with this professor? Why did she mark this as incorrect? That's the way it's supposed to be done. And he was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, what are you talking about? It's supposed to be 2 spaces between each sentence. Like, what do you mean? And he was like, no, dude, it's supposed to be just 1. And I was like, what? And then we had this eye-opening thing occur where basically I was like, dude, what are you talking about? And we went back and forth for a minute and he was like, are you being like funny, messing around? I was like, no, bro, I'm being so serious. I thought after each sentence you're supposed to put 2 spaces. And he was like, no, it's 1. And I was like, well, that's strange, because I remember back in, I don't know, 3rd grade, one of my teachers telling me, make sure you double space it. And maybe my brain didn't understand or comprehend it at the time, right? But and maybe she misworded it, maybe she didn't. Maybe she said something like double space it, meant like the paragraphs or something, right? Or I don't know. And so from that point on, all through middle school, all through high school, not once did somebody ever correct me and say like, hey, like you put 2 spaces between each sentence, like you need to change that. And so I just went on thinking that was, what it was supposed to be done. Like I was like, oh no, like it's a 1 space between each word, but 2 spaces between each sentence. Literally, bro. And then I remember that professor pointed out to me my freshman year of college, and I was like mind blown, like, wait, what? Like, is that actually the case? And I remember realizing that this whole time I had been lacking that one piece of information that was holding me back, and nobody ever corrected me on it, but also nobody ever marked it as wrong. Nobody ever took points off until that time. So I don't know if the teachers I grew up with in high school didn't think much of it or didn't actually notice it, or maybe that professor was wrong. I don't know. Till this day, I still haven't looked it up. But what I do know is that one piece of information led me down this assumption of, oh, this is the way it's supposed to be done for all this time. And I think the reason I bring up that story, I think it's so common when it comes to like that one thing holding you back that's preventing you from getting to where it is you want to be. And like even for myself, when I first started as a trainer, I remember thinking that, like, for example, with doing a chest fly, you're supposed to just open your arms up. And I didn't realize that you're actually supposed to, retract your shoulder blades and open them up, right? And when I started to implement them and just make that one tweak, my chest started to grow. I started to get, actual chest growth, teach my clients how to do the same, and all my clients stopped experiencing rotator cuff pain, discomfort, and as did I. And I bring up those 2 points to just say, like, that one thing that's holding you back is often the one thing that's limiting you from your growth. And so if you have some big opportunity present itself, and like, this could be a good opportunity for me to grow or learn, then great, go take it. But oftentimes we don't know what that thing is, and we don't know that there's this big opportunity about to present itself. We just like have to be aware of things all the time, and then some of those things will be more important than others. So I think it's very important to have awareness around the actions you take, the life you live, because even at the gym earlier, I caught up with a buddy of mine and we were chatting and whatnot, and normally I'm just locked in. And I started to become aware of the fact that, okay, like, I'm actually losing like my focus, and I'm getting sidetracked, and I'm in here to work out and get the heck out and get back to working on the business, right? And so I had to have that general awareness of just like, dude, I gotta get going. Like, it had to interrupt him. I wanted to talk with him all day, but I'm like, dude, I gotta get going. Like, see you out. I'll be out here, dude. Right? And oftentimes I think that one thing holding us back is the awareness. We don't have awareness around these things. And when it comes to nutrition, you probably don't have awareness that the fact that the caffeine you're consuming is addicting, or the alcohol you're drinking is keeping you in a chokehold, or the weed you're smoking is holding you back, or anything, bro. Whether it be like the lust you have, like the junk food you're eating, like the poor habits, all of these things are holding you back from becoming your true, most authentic, best self. And my whole reason that I'm posting this video is to help people, but also to be able to bring people to know Christ. And like, in the Bible, bro, it literally says that in order to become the best possible version of yourself, you need to be, true, right, to yourself and to the Word. And it says in the Bible that is the truth, the way, and the light, right? And like that, the Word is the truth. And so when you actually start to read it, when you start to read your Bible, you start to become aware of these things. You start to become aware of the things that are holding you back, keeping you in a hostage, in a sense, really like holding you down, tying you down. And when you have the awareness around these things, and you can actually step out of where you are and be like, whoa, what is going on? That's when real change occurs. When I went through my nutritional coaching certification, most of the trainers I was working with at the time, I remember they just skimmed through the book and they just copied and pasted. They all just cheated the right on the test. And like, it is what it is, bro. I get it, right? Because you don't really care that much. But like, I remember they would be like, dude, like, why are you like actually taking this serious? Why are you actually like studying the book? Like, it's not that serious. And it's like, well, dude, like, I actually want to know this information, and even though I already know a lot of this, like, there's still things I probably don't know. I'm not going to go in there with this ego. Like, I'm going to drop that and be able to learn. And so this is why I went in there. I studied all these chapters, and I was spending like late nights at the gym. I mean, I was up there early in the morning, like literally from open to close, doing this all the time, studying the information, getting better, applying it directly to my clients, because I understood that like a lot of my clients, that were on Ozempic, or clients that were overweight, that were struggling with these issues, or struggling to follow through with the bare minimum tasks, it wasn't just a nutritional thing. A lot of the things they knew, but it was more so a mindset, them being held back. And I started to dive deep into that, and that's what the coaching search I went through, really dove into, right? And for me personally, it helped me so much, because one of the few things that stuck out to me was that awareness is what creates true change. Like, what is it that creates change in people? Like, if you go through any coaching certification, there's a really good book. It's called What Makes People Change. And I think it's like called Motivational Interviewing. And I haven't really, gone super in depth with all of these books, but they have a bunch of them for like the psychology, like the fitness, the nutrition, like a bunch of things, right? And basically motivational interviewing is like asking people questions to help them uncover like why they're doing these things the wrong way. Like, it's not like, hey, like, what are you eating? Right? Non-motivational interviewing would be like, what are you eating on a day-to-day basis? Broccoli, chicken, French fries once in a while, pizza once in a while. Okay, cool. And this is what you should be eating: chicken, steak, fish, yogurt. Like, bro, we all know these things. We all know that these foods that you're eating are not ideal. But why is it that people still don't make the change? Well, it's because A, they don't have awareness around the foods they're eating most of the time, and also B, they don't have awareness around why they're making those decisions. Why is it that you're eating these foods? Well, it's because you have some sort of, lack of awareness. Really, that's what it is. You aren't aware that what you're doing is not yielding the result. Like, people, if you can just step back and create that awareness around what you're doing, like when you're in the middle of eating this food, when you're in the middle of, following through and actually doing these things, like, you can now think like, okay, like, how do I feel in this current moment? How do I feel when I eat this sort of food? Like, why do I eat this food, even though I know it's not ideal? And I noticed a lot of my clients that were at the time on Ozempic, trying to lose weight, they would still, every single time when I talk to them, yeah, I had a bad weekend, whatever, like, you know, I ate whatever. I'm like, dude, well, why? Like, I'm not mad at you, but like, why did you do these things? It's like, oh, it's hard. It's like, okay, but why is it hard? And then it's like, when you actually break these things down, that's what really motivational interviewing is, right? It's figuring out how to create change in people, because you can't just change somebody by telling them what to do. There's a reason that all the information's out there. There's a reason that all the implementation is really what coaching is. It's helping people implement these things. But my job as a coach is to help people uncover their internal motivation, their, you know, their real why. Like, why do you want to do these things? Because when the coach isn't there, when the coach isn't around, when he's, you know, working with another client, or when he's sleeping and you're up eating the junk food, eating the unquality food, like, why is it that you're doing these things? It's because you actually don't care. But let me say, you probably do care to some extent, but there's a part of you that doesn't care. And that's because you haven't taken the time to find your internal why and the internal motivation to control yourself. Because even me as a coach, dude, like, I can't always control the things that I want to control. But this is why you have to put certain practices into place. This is why you need accountability. You need mentors in your space. So this is why I have mentors. This is why I have coaches. This is why I have a specific routine, you know, specific regimented structure around my lifestyle, because I know that as much as I'm motivated and I'm this, you know, dude that likes to follow through with the actions he takes, there are times, just like the rest of you watching, where I don't feel like doing these things. And so that's why I set myself up for success by surrounding myself in the same room, in the same environment, and around people that have the things that I want. And even those people, they are holding themselves accountable by surrounding themselves with even higher dogs, top dogs, whatever you want to call it, right? Why is it, also look at that neck vein, that's crazy. The passion is just flowing. But like, yo, why is it that people don't make the things that they say are a priority actually a priority, and why can't you see that in their actions? Well, it's because they haven't uncovered their internal why. But if you could surround yourself with the right people that can actually, you know, pull the good from you, not the bad, great. Like, the bad would be like me getting on the call with you as a client and saying, like, I'm going to scold you for not eating the quality food I told you to eat. I'm going to give you this meal plan and I'm going to be, you know, upset when you don't follow through, because I'm not going to do that. It's not going to help me. It's not going to help you. It's not going to make any difference. All it's going to do is create this negative feedback loop. But if we could get on the call together and I can say, like, dude, the reason that you're unable to have success is because, you know, not that you don't want it bad enough. That is to some extent part of it. But the other reason is, like, you haven't been able to develop the relationship with your eating, with your nutrition, et cetera, with yourself that you are aligned with, right? And like, when you can do that, you can unlock the internal motivation. You can unlock the type of person you want to become, and life starts to become a lot easier to follow through with, because now you have a lot more control over your life. You can actually have the discipline, right? As much as I say it's not discipline, right? Because like, when you're tying the internal why, you're creating, you know, the feelings of like, oh, this is actually like a good thing, right? Like, I actually look forward to treating myself this way. And it seems cliche, I know. I've been on the other side of the screen watching these videos before where it's like, oh yeah, you know, like, but like, when you're not motivated, you really tap into the internal motivation, the internal why, the reason you're doing the things you're doing. So like, when times get tough, you're finding a way to trigger a positive emotion to make you do the things that you know you need to be doing, even if it's not what you feel like doing in the current moment. And that allows you to have the positive feelings of like, I love eating these types of foods that, you know, relate with my goals and get me a better physique. And I love exercising and going to the gym. This is why people that are successful have been successful, because truth be told, we all have these fluctuations of our subconscious and our conscious brain, where sometimes it's going to be negative, other times it's going to be positive. A lot more of the times, rather than not, it's going to be from the subconscious brain, and your subconscious brain is apt to pour in negative emotions and negative thought patterns. But if you can start to psychologically shift that, then you're feeding yourself more of this positive feedback loop. And what happens when you do that is, bro, things unfold, things unlock, and you now have, you know, the desire to do the things that you know you should be doing. So that's really what I want to talk on in this video, and that's pretty much, in summary, everything. And I'm going to make this video on the shorter and concise side. You guys know some of my videos are on the rather long side, and if you do want to hear more about them, like, go check them out. Like, they're like 40 minutes, 50, some of them are an hour. Like, bro, if you want to get my insights, go check them out. But like, I'm really trying to break down just what you guys need, and this just came off the top, or I shouldn't say that. Actually, usually it comes off the top, but what I did a couple days ago is I wrote down on my notebook, I had this thought as I was reading, and like, this is what happens, right? I was diving deep into the subconscious brain, right? A couple days ago, reading something. It talks about how when you're coming up with your best ideas, this is a book called Creativity by John, I don't know how to say his last name, but like, when you're coming up with your best ideas, 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 when you're coming up with your best ideas I don't know off the top of my head. I would search it up, but my phone's, it's like John something. Type in the book Creativity if you want to learn more. And it talks about how like your most creative thoughts, your best ideas come when you're operating under your subconscious brain, which is interesting, right? Like I just kind of referenced, the subconscious brain typically takes over with these negative thoughts. Not always, because if you can start to shape it and give it the, you know, daily rituals, the regiments, it's going to start to yield you positive thoughts. But that book Creativity, it talks about how in your subconscious brain, when you're in that subconscious flow and you're not thinking consciously about the action you're doing, that's when those thoughts, those desires come to you. But when you're in your conscious brain, it's harder to get those things. Not to say it's not possible, but it's a lot more challenging. And like, there's a lot of studies, a lot of research that go into this. And in that book, Creativity by John something, I don't know, the book is orange. You will find it. I talked about it in a different video. And if you guys want to know the book, like comment below and I'll give you the name of the book. But yeah, in that he talks about how like your best ideas come in your subconscious brain. So like for me, I was reading, after I finished that, I was reading a different book, and I was reading that book. I had this thought come to me like, and like, this is an idea, like about the double space thing, and you know, about the, you know, exercise thing I mentioned with my clients. So I just jotted it down on a notebook because I thought, I might forget this. You know, usually I go off the top, but like, let me just write this down. And then what happened from there is I was like, when I finished reading, I'm like, oh, this is what I'm going to talk about. And then I forgot about it, you know, right? And then I looked back and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. This is the topic. And then I remembered like, I was going to talk about something else, but what was it? And like, I literally forgot these things. This is why it's good to write down your thoughts and your goals and the things you want to do, right? And then I was in the gym and it came back to me, right? And I had the notebook. I had the notebook at home on my desk, but I was at the gym and I thought like, oh yeah, that video. Like, let me hop in my car after the gym and make this video while it's fresh on my mind. And something in the workout where I was subconscious, I was thinking about my workout, I was thinking about other things, it came back to me. And so, you know, in that book, it really just talks about how like your best thoughts come to you when you're in your subconscious. So if you can feed your subconscious the positive affirmations, the positive thoughts, and look for the good, then because the subconscious brain is taking over most of the time, the conscious brain's taking over less. The more that you feed your subconscious brain and your conscious brain positive information and all these sorts of things that align with the person you want to become and the actions you want to take for the results you want to have, then the more that subconscious starts to become on that positive side, and also the more that the conscious brain becomes on the positive side, and the two are gonna, you know, mingle in a sense and interlock, right? So like conscious, subconscious, boom, here. Now the more that your subconscious brain has these positive thoughts coming in, vice versa, and vice versa, right? I think you guys see where I'm going with this. But really, like, that one thing that's holding you back could be preventing you from gathering so much information. And for me personally, that one thing that unlocked so many results for my clients, results for myself, you know, prevented me and took me out of the position where I was, you know, binge eating, having a lot of these sorts of like issues with my nutrition, not being able to, or not thinking I could control these things, to getting to a position where I literally desire doing the things that align with my goals, came from me going through my nutrition coaching certification and not just skimming through like the rest of the trainers, but actually reading it and understanding. I'm gonna just absorb what I can, and then finding that thing that stuck out to me that said change is caused by awareness, or awareness creates change. And for me personally, that's, you know, what unlocked a lot of things, and that allowed me to dive deep into the psychology behind my coaching and all these sorts of things. And I think people hold themselves back because of that one thing. That one thing that's holding you back could be getting you, you know, much closer to the results you want. So don't let that one thing hold you back, because when you unlock that one thing, everything opens up tenfold. And also, like I said, these sorts of one things, these ideas that lead to another, that lead into that positive domino effect, that positive feedback loop, those, typically speaking, not always, but typically speaking, stem from the subconscious thoughts you have. And the subconscious thoughts are going to come from the conscious actions you take. So if you take the conscious action of reading a book, then that subconscious thought will just come to you. If you take the conscious action of going to the gym, then the subconscious thought will just come into your brain while you're at the gym in the middle of a good workout, right? If you're taking the conscious action of eating quality food or eating a specific meal over another, then when you're eating that food, your brain's going to operate more efficiently, and subconsciously you'll start to have better thought patterns, and then boom, there's that one thing, and that one thing leads into a catapult for success. So I hope that helps somebody out there. I know for an absolute fact that was some straight value. If you don't think so, then please give me a dislike. I'd be happy to make the videos better for you guys, or just like literally unsubscribe and like just get out of here, bro, please, because like I don't want people on my channel that aren't getting value. But if you do dislike, drop a comment and let me know what you disliked most, and how I can make it better, because I want to be able to actually provide pure value to my like you guys, right? I was on a coaching call with my group the other day, and we were talking about how, like, you know, like the best thing in the world is being able to help people. And so truly the best thing I can do is help people on my YouTube channel, on my Instagram page, even if they don't ever join my program. That's my main thing, is being able to help people. So if I can do that for you, then that's my main thing. And these, you know, videos aren't just for whatever reason, like they come to me off the top, but sometimes I have to give thought to them, right? And sometimes they come off the top, but then I give thought to them and those videos bang even more. So stop playing with your life and find that one thing that's holding you back from achieving not just your ideal physique, not just your ideal lifestyle, not just your ideal relationship, career, but your ideal life, right? And lifestyle is different than life. Lifestyle is the things you do in your day-to-day life and the different facets or sub-facets, right? But life is, you know, everything you're here on this earth with, and you don't want to waste that, because we have just one of those. And I truly believe that, like, we have an afterlife, but we have one life here on earth, and so make the most of it, brother. Make the most of that one life that you have here on earth. Become that person that you want to become. Make those changes, bro. It's not that hard. It's not that difficult to become the person you want to become. And I'm saying this because people that I watched on YouTube, that I still watch to this day, books that I read, you know, articles that I read, podcasts I listened to, you know, even some songs I listened to, right? They told me these things. They motivated me. They inspired me. And, like, that allowed me to become the person that I wanted to become. And so, like, it's only fair that I just help out my followers, my subscribers. I help you guys become the best possible version of yourself, because I've been in tough circumstances myself, and I know that I felt like I wanted help, and maybe I wasn't ready to receive the help, but I asked people for help and I didn't get it. And maybe that was on me. Maybe I wasn't receptive to it. But I want to be able to help people. And so, like, if this video in any way resonates with you, I want you to just be receptive to that message, and maybe watch it back a second time. Not for subscribers, not for likes. You don't have to subscribe to my channel. Like, I have loyal subscribers, and for those of you guys that are not loyal, like, it's all good, bro. If you really want to unsubscribe, like, bro, it doesn't beat me. But I know that these messages, the clients I work with that tell me that these messages actually resonate with them, give them insights. And I also know that myself feeling fulfilled creating this content that is literally out there for the rest of humanity, like, forever, bro, until YouTube ever gets shut down or something. But it's been a while and they haven't yet. Literally, like, these videos are here to help people become the best possible version of themselves. And, you know, if you can become the best possible version of yourself, regardless of if you ever join my program or if you don't, I will feel super fulfilled. And that's the reason that, you know, years ago in the past, I told my family, I told my friends, I told myself that I wanted to be a positive influence for the people around me, that I wanted to spread a positive message for, you know, the people that follow and subscribe to my page, and even people that don't, that just watch this video and they don't follow, they don't subscribe, they don't like. It's all good, bro. But I want to be able to help you, because I've been in situations in my life where I didn't have the things that I wanted, and it was frustrating to not know how to get out of that situation. And I always told myself that when I got out of that situation, and when I actually started to make progress in the direction I was aiming for, that I would give away all the sauce for absolute free. For free, bro, because people helped me when I was in situations in my life where I didn't have the things I needed or the things I wanted. And maybe, again, that was me not being receptive, but I know that there are times in life when you are not receptive to messages, but you still need to hear them. And if you hear these messages enough, then eventually you become receptive to them. So I hope that video helps you guys. Each and every one of you subscribers are actual goats. Literally the greatest of all time for subscribing and showing love to the channel. But at the same time, like, if you don't want to show, like, love, bro, like, it literally doesn't hurt me, because I'm doing it for you. But more importantly, like, the fulfillment I feel from helping people out there is more important than any subscribers, any like count, anything like that, any video views. And like I said earlier in the video, like, when you put God first, you become a vessel of Christ. Like I've talked about in other videos, like, he opens up doors that you could never even imagine. So I hope that helps somebody out there. I'll see you guys in the next video. If you guys do want to check out my Instagram, you don't have to, but if you do want to, it's a lot more short form content. I've been in a B-roll wave, which B-roll, for those of you guys that aren't familiar, is basically just like, you know, captions, texts, motivational quotes, things like that. Things that come straight off the top. almost like Twitter style, like not Twitter style posts, but like tweets almost, where like, this is something that I want to say right now, boom, and it's like 5 to 10 seconds. A lot of my content as of recent has been like that. But if you scroll over to my reels, you'll be able to see all my client testimonials, my client results, my posts, all this sort of stuff. And I'm on my Instagram stories all day, literally all day long, just talking in that shorter form context. So it could be anywhere from 10, 15, sometimes even 30 stories a day. It really just varies. But if you guys like that shorter form content, then you might want to check me out on Instagram at JStroudFit. JStroudFit everywhere, bro. TikTok, which I was banned. I don't know what happened. I haven't had my app downloaded in a while, so I don't really use it. And I haven't posted on there in a while. Probably like the exception of a couple times I haven't posted on TikTok in like 9 months. But if it is still up and running, then you can check me out there at JStroudFit and see all my journey from a couple of years ago when I was getting into the content creation. You can also check me out here, of course. Drop me with a comment if it's valuable. And then like Instagram's JStroudFit. Everywhere is JStroudFit. And the name of my coaching program is Achieve Your Ideal Physique, because truly, there's no such thing as, the ideal physique. It's your ideal physique, right? And this is why I named my program the way I named it, because truly everybody's going to have different variations of what the answer looks like. But if I can help you achieve not just your ideal physique, but your ideal life, then that's the most important thing, right? Because in the Bible, like it says, you should be a vessel of Christ. And the word, if you read it, which is the truth, the light, the way, it's going to tell you, in the Bible, that all of these things I'm listing out, you achieving your ideal life, is literally what he wants for you. He doesn't want you suffering. He doesn't want you in anxiety, worry, fear, pain, guilt, stress, financial burdens. He doesn't want these things for you. He wants you to have genuine peace. And for the longest time, I didn't believe all this stuff. And I had this tingling feeling, and I always say, like, when I feel this, it's like the Holy Spirit talking through me. Like, literally, it's just the Holy Spirit talking through me right now. But, like, when I post these sorts of videos, it's like, wow, it all just spills out and it unfolds from, like, what's inside my noggin. And, yeah, guys, so, and the reason that, like, I'm hesitating now and losing my train of thought is because, like, that wasn't me talking. I was literally the Holy Spirit, like I said, all right? And you don't have to believe me. It's all good, bro, but it's true. So when I started to actually believe that God wanted the best for me and actually wanted me to enjoy life, and I actually started to deep down believe it without just like thinking it and saying, oh yeah, but that's not true, like it's not fair, the life I'm living or whatever, or all the downfalls, like isn't fair. When I started to actually think that way and actually just say like, like maybe I've been looking at this from the wrong perspective, the wrong lens the whole time. Maybe God actually does want the best for me. When I started to actually have conviction in that and deep down believe that like Jesus Christ literally died on the cross to save not just my life, but yours and everybody watching. And I started to actually believe that, the words in the Bible, when I would open my Bible to a random page, I would say like, Lord, like I'm just going to open the Bible today. Sometimes I would pray and say like, give me the words I need to hear. Sometimes I wouldn't. And I would just open my Bible and I would stumble upon something that said blank. And that blank would often be something I needed to hear. And that was often that one thing that held me back. And then knowing that catapulted me to the next level of success. And if in the Bible it says all these things, that he wants abundance, peace, prosperity, all these things for you, and you don't believe it, then you're never going to get it. But if you actually can believe it even before having it tangibly, and when I say tangibly, take that with a grain of salt, because truly all of these things, there's no such thing as tangible in my opinion, right? Like if somebody says prosperity or abundance, the first thing you probably think of is wealth or like cash. But like if you look at like wealth, what that means in the Bible, it truly just means like an overflow of abundance, and it's not just monetary. And so it usually just says these things in the Bible that are true, but we just perceive them in the light that we think are the truth, and then we don't have the thing, and because of that we don't have the thing we say we want. But if you can start to understand that the more that you read the Bible, the more it all makes sense to you, the more the puzzle pieces fit together, the more that you're going to actually have the things you want, and then all that stuff comes afterwards, bro. If you can think from that light, that's going to open things up for you. And having awareness around these things is most important. So if you want to achieve your ideal physique, thinking of yourself as the healthy individual that can build muscle, can lose weight, visualizing himself or herself or whoever as that person before actually tangibly having that thing allows you to see yourself as that person, and then you take the actions. Because it all starts with the mindset, bro. It all stems from mindset. You have the mindset, which shapes your beliefs and your thought patterns, and that shapes the actions you take, and that creates the consistent actions, which lead to habits, and those habits developed over enough time lead into skills, and those skills can be applied at any goal you have, and that allows you to yield to the result that you say you want, and that you probably do want if you're still watching this video. So that one thing that you're missing, it could be the one thing that would literally change your life forever, and you just need to find that one thing. So for me, I don't know exactly what brought that one thing to me. Maybe it was me reading a book. Maybe it was me praying. Maybe it was me reading my Bible. Maybe it was me having this conversation. Maybe it was me having this awareness. But I know that when you focus on all these things and you understand, like, okay, I'm going to have awareness around all these things. And like I mentioned earlier in my video, you know, eventually it's going to come across, right? But if you're conscious, trying to do your best to be conscious and aware of taking consistent action and taking positive habits, making positive decisions with your life, then the subconscious seeps in and it throws the things you need in your lap, and it's right there for you to take, brother. It's right there for you to take, brother. So I hope this resonated, helped somebody. Again, Instagram is JStradaFit, YouTube is JStradaFit. I'll see you guys in the next video. That video just got me literally fueled up, bro, fired up, bro, because I could talk all day long. And for those of you guys, my friends, like, you know, I be yapping, bro. Yes, bro. I like to say, you know, I yap for a living. You could say that. People used to tell me, bro, I talked too much. It's all good, bro. It's literally all good. I used to get offended by that and be like more mute, right? But now, bro, I realize I have the vocalities to be able to help people change their lives. And it's really the Holy Spirit talking through me. I can't take any of the credit. I cannot take a single percentage of the credit, because I'm just simply, you know, the puppet of the puppeteer, which is like Jesus Christ, right? And he's directing me in the way he wants me to go with my life. And, you know, for me, it's just following through on the words that he wants me to do. Like when he says do these things, just doing them. And life just starts to bear fruits in ways unimaginable. So you guys that stayed to the end, you guys have, you know, some good patience for sure. But also just know that life gets so much more enjoyable when you find that one thing. And I don't know when that one thing is going to come, or where it's going to come from for you, or what that thing is for you. But I know that if you continue trucking along, being mindful and awareness of these things, then that one thing will come to you and it will find you. And there's a book out there called That One Thing. And this is just coming off the top because earlier I was cleaning my room and I found this book from when I was in college for, I don't know, for one of these mentorship groups I was in. We had this speaker that would come in and he gave us all these books, and they were like 8 pages long or like 12 pages, like very, very short. And the book's called That One Thing. And it talks about, you know, that one thing that could change everything. And it stood out to me a lot. And I remember from that period of time, a lot of things started to shift for me. And I think back to it oftentimes, and I should probably reread the book. But fortunately, or unfortunately, my dog kind of ripped it up, so some of the words are gone. And it doesn't all make sense in my brain to read a book that's like half in, half out. And some of the sentences are ripped out because of my dog's ferocious teeth. But anyways, guys, in all seriousness, check out that book and That One Thing. And if you guys want to know that creativity book by that guy John something, I think it starts with, his last name starts with a P. I don't remember exactly, but it's called Creativity. It's an orange book. You can go on Google and type it in, you'll find it, or you can just comment below and I'll give you the book title. But yeah, nonetheless, like, you guys stayed to the end and you guys are appreciative, I hope, of the message. And I want you guys to know that I'm appreciative of you guys listening, watch this message, because that's the main thing is, you know, this video could get 0 views. I generally don't care. Like, my goal is to be able to help people, but if this video is not helpful and it doesn't help like somebody, then I don't want people seeing it. Right? But if this video could touch 1 million people, change 1,000 lives, even 10 people, change 5 lives, like, that's the most important thing. So whoever sees this video, just know that, like, you're probably watching this for a reason, and you know, the things that you're after are doable. The life you want is achievable. You can achieve your ideal physique, you can achieve your ideal life, you can achieve all the things you want for yourself, you set up for yourself, your goals. But you have to create awareness, and creating awareness is more possible, a lot more doable, when you find that one thing that's holding you back and that's preventing you from having that blockage in your mind and opening up your mindset to success. And success could mean something different for each and every one of you watching. I know success for me is you know, a lot different than other people deem it, right? And like for me, success is like making an impact on this world, being a vessel of Christ. So like for those of you guys that stay to the end, I appreciate it more than you guys know, because without subscribers, you know, even if I had 0 subscribers, I'd still be making videos, but without subscribers, and I want people to help people. That's my main thing. So I'm done talking. I'm done yapping. I'll see you guys in the next video.